Wait, what?
We're back.
Oh, wow. But
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I was just thrown off by the way you said that. It was kind of crazy. You sounded nervous, like we ain't do two of these already for like 45 minutes. But okay.
No, I missed it. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. Um, hopefully this go around we start getting the content out for real for them. But
Yeah, it was good to throw off some fillers and everything and everything. I really enjoy it too. I'm not gonna lie. Again, welcome back to Split Decisions podcast. This is your boy Mike.
and it's naughty.
And for anybody who's first time tuning in, welcome, welcome. I think this is our third one that we posted. Sorry for this is been some time since we posted. Sorry y'all. It was more about like you getting the time in. We both have busy lives um and also coming up with topics and everything. But I think we have a good topic for everybody for today. Especially now with the controversial. I'm not gonna get in. We're by no means politicians or anything like that. We
Yeah,
can
we
be,
don't do that over here.
we don't get involved heavily in the politics. We're just sharing our opinions on these podcasts when it comes to and everything, things about life. And
Hmm.
I think this topic if affects us, especially as younger people, um, young adults growing up. It's basically overall about undocumented individuals entering the U.S. Um, we have a little bit of split decisions about that. Um, pun intended. But yeah, definitely. I got this idea.
Sorry about the train if y'all can hear
That thing, it goes multiple times a night, every night, like
that.
without a break.
I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know
That's kind of weird. Do y'all
why.
hear
Okay.
that? That's weird. But yeah, I didn't mean to start talk too much. My fault. My fault. What is your opinion about like everything regarding undocumented individuals in America? What's your opinion about it?
So we talked about it a little bit already, but
Yeah, we have. This is not our first time talking about it.
I was just trying to explain my point of view of how I think if someone has been over here for years, and even though, yeah, they don't have the papers to say like, yeah, I'm an American citizen, but if they've been over here for years and then they've started their entire life here, it's kind of like, how is it morally right for us to like just be like, oh, now you got to go back home? Because at that point, now they don't even know that place. If we're being honest, they're going back to some place that they haven't lived in a very long time. So like everything that they did know there is probably gone. So they have a new life here, and I was just trying to explain to him like, if they come over here and they do right, they don't do any like criminal activity or anything like that, yeah, I feel like they should be able to stay. But I feel like too, it's really America's fault, because how were they able to get here in the first place? They're very lax on clearly the security and the border and everything for people to be able to come over here. um and that's something that we need to fix. So it's kind of like, for me, to blame the person who is just trying to come over here to get a new life, get new opportunities, and have like, or even if they have a family, like give their family a better experience and a better chance at thriving.
Mm.
It's kind of like messed up to me for you to be like, yeah, like let's send them back home. Technically, yes, that is their home. But like I was saying, they don't really know that place anymore. They know America. And yeah, they should have to go through the process. I feel like yeah, they should have to go through the process of becoming an actual American citizen and everything like that. But then we have like the older people who come over here, who start their lives, who create families. Their kids are now legally right to like able to be here. So it's kind of like, damn, like, yeah, my kids can be here, but at some point, at some chance, I still have a fear that I'm going to get yanked out my house, maybe in the middle of the night most of the time, and told that I got to go back to a country that I don't even know. Everything that I know is here now.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I think that, and this is why I love you. You think with your heart a lot. I'm talking about they built their lives and kind of messed up and everything. I need to do a little more research on if they have children and what the rights of children have. I would do a little more research on that. What the legal procedure when it comes to that, because technically they were born in America.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they're. I wonder how that would work because like if their parents don't have papers,
Mhm.
um would they have like social security numbers and things of that nature to like say they hey birth certificates and be able to legally if they don't if the, so basically what I'm saying is if the parents don't have papers, how can the children get papers? I don't understand, but I have to do a little bit more research on that. I'm gonna be the first one to say I'm not educated in that, so I'm not gonna touch that subject. I would like to address a couple things that you said here. First off, they said if a person entered, it's America's fault. Let's start there. It's America's fault. I would say yes. I would definitely say yes. It's because, to be honest, not to get too political, I think a little bit of the liberal and Democrat kind of side of things, they're very much radical and very like everything is open and like I don't agree to that at all. So I'm not gonna get too political. I don't have a political standing and I don't have political like you know uh knowledge. So I'm not gonna say that. But from what I can see, everything is too open on that side, and I don't like it. So now I think it's becoming and we need to fix the problem. We really do. And and that includes getting back on the right track. Just because like we made uh we didn't secure the border enough in the past, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't like get a tighter security on it now. I think that's a very hands off approach. Like that's like saying like if somebody break into your house and start chilling, and they've been chilling there for hours, and then you come home and find them there, then oh they already made themselves comfortable. Why, you know?
But you know that there's a such thing as squatter rights. So if somebody goes into somebody's house,
Is that only state though?
I know in Michigan they have squatter rights. Like people,
And that's ridiculous.
and I think that's crazy too. You could go into somebody's house that even if they haven't been there, you go into their house and you make that house your home now. You have to go fight in court to get your house back.
This is absolute. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I actually, I want to get that law like outlawed. I'll get that out of here. That's disrespectful.
It's like
I
how
pay
do
taxes here. Like what the hell?
like my name is on a deed and everything, but like I know in other states too, like it was a story about a man who went into this lady's house. I think that she would like go off and on, like she would go in the wintertime, she would go to a warmer climate, and then she would come back when it's warmer in her state. And the guy, quote unquote, I don't know how, said, "Yeah, I'm her sister." First of all, I'm a man. How are you saying that you're somebody's sister? But
Yeah,
he
let's
was
not
like,
touch that subject. That's
he
a whole
was
different podcast. Mhm.
he was like, "Yeah, I'm her sister." He got his name put on her deed. Her name was removed off the deed. Now she has to go and fight this man in court for her house that she paid for.
That's disrespectful. And that's injustice, really. And no, in no way. But anyway, that's that should be banned. My stance. Ban it and get him kicked out immediately. You bum. Go get a job and pay some bills. But
Your own bills.
you pay your own bills, right? Your own bills. But so back on to the undocumented thing. I think that they consume when they come over here. They consume resources. They say like, oh yeah, they built a life here. Remember that like, every country has like limited resources in order to do. Right now, the reason why we decided on this topic was because as young adults coming up and trying to do things and actually trying to make our lives better, build a life for ourselves. Um, it becomes like, okay, we're looking for opportunities. What if some of the opportunity isn't there? Because now people are getting corporations are hiring cheap labor from Mexico and Central America, because that's where most of the undocumented are coming from, and then now it's taking away opportunities opportunities for young people, and then also now that they live their lives and come over here, they possibly have a house or anything like that. I was like, that house could have been to an American citizen who had the rights to be here. And then also you stated also as well that um dang, I'm sorry, y'all. My memory is kind of bad. I'm sorry about that, y'all. You stated that, oh yeah, they're not doing anything illegal. Two things I have to say to that. One, if they come in here undocumented, that is illegal. You already you already done something illegal. We have a law. We have some things. Even when the borders wasn't all that tight, there is a law that stated there's a proper way of procedure in order to gain citizenship, and I'm not against that, not at all. But there is a proper way. It's disrespectful for people who actually do things the proper way, and for people who jumped ahead in line and consume resources for years, and you've been doing it for years, has been doing that in proper way. Um, I think that if you do that, then you kind of run yourself risk for failure at that moment. You make yourself, undocumented. So therefore, everything that you build have a possibility of being taken away from you. You took that risk by coming in here that way, you know. So that's what I have to say there. Like, you already committed an illegal act. And then two, here's the thing: the more people we invite, not invite, but we you know, allow in and don't restrict out and people to stay and everything, the more likelihood that these people are criminals. You know what I mean? More people could be a lot higher chance of more criminals. You know what I mean? And have possibly ties to drug cartels or anything like that. And I think I heard about it. MS-13 uh, gang member, gang member or something like that. Um, was it a rape or kill or just kill? One of those two, kill an American girl. But I have to look that up a little bit more. I'll actually do that a little bit later. But anyway, the more people that are here illegally increases the likelihood of them having illegal ties to their country and doing illegal things. If they are already doing illegal things, breaking the law already, then what's stopping them for keep on breaking the law? They say, "Oh, America's easy." You know what I mean? Like, wait, what?
But that's just like saying that's just like saying if you cheat once, you always gonna be a cheater. That's not true.
I'm not saying that, but the likelihood increases. Like,
But too, like when you think about them doing something, it's like, okay, I'm doing something illegal, quote unquote, because I am trying to create a better life for myself. I'm coming from a country who does not have as many resources as America does. And I'm just trying to
let's bring out the small violin.
and I'm just trying to create a better life. Like it's just like that's just like saying if somebody homeless and they go into a store, yes, it's illegal to steal, but I'm stealing because I'm hungry. Like every regardless of all these laws that are put in place, I have the right. I'm a human.
Then sort that out with your country.
But I'm saying like some of these places are like horrible to live.
And
It's like I'm trying to do the best of what I can for the people that I love. Not you just turned on the damn light. You get on my.
like,
I'm trying to do the best that I can for myself, for my family. Yeah, it wasn't right, but at the end of the day, a right to me could be a wrong to someone else, just like a wrong to you could be a right to somebody else. It's just like who gets to right these wrongs and right these rights? Who are you to say that I came over here and that was the wrong thing for me to do?
the
Well,
law.
all I was thinking about, see, no, but that's not what I'm saying. When all I was thinking about was the best interest of myself and my family.
And I understand that you have to look out for your family, but it's not America's problem to solve all the world's problems.
But it's America's problem when let me go back to what you said. It's America's problem when you were talking about how you think like the liberals and Democrats are very like lenient with a lot of things, and but I think conservatives are very strict. There needs to be some type of middle because
We gotta have some type of moral fiber and
But I'm saying
strictness. Like
some things are like when one thing is too lax and one thing is too strict, it's gonna create an imbalance. You have to have something that meets in the middle for it to be.
and that is the process. That's the process. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm
Blame
not
America though, like I said, blame America for how lax that damn security at that border is for all these
oh
people to
trust
be
me.
able to get into the to be able to get
Trump
here
is
in the
getting that
first place.
right. 14 you know what I mean?
Man, Trump need to get himself right before he start
2
doing
million.
anything. He don't
You
need to
saw that
be in
article?
control of a whole entire country, and that man is crazy.
You saw
He
that article. Remember that article we talked about before we came online? It was like what was that? 2 million undocumented
mhm.
individuals removed or self-deported from US in the first 8 months.
That's a lot of people.
2
I
million.
think that it is an excessive amount of undocumented people over here. I do, but I also and I do think a good amount of them are like criminals. I do.
They do that as they're criminals.
Whatever.
You don't break the law and don't be considered a criminal
Oh my
because of this
gosh, I
aspect.
break the law every single day. I speed. I'm a criminal.
Technically on paper,
I
yeah.
don't give a damn. I speed. I literally like I do a lot of illegal things. I don't steal or
You said
nothing.
I wouldn't say that online.
I don't care. Judge me. Don't judge me. Judge your mama, because I'm pretty sure she's doing some illegal things too.
That's crazy. Well,
Um, people be.
well,
It's just like everybody does something that quote unquote is like against the law, but it's like dang, like
but then at the end of the day, though, that's we're talking about a secure nation, though. So
I'm saying if they come over here and they just live in a normal life, like why do we have to punish them for wanting better?
we're not punishing for one better. It's the way that y'all did it.
But that's America's fault because they shouldn't have been able to get over here in the first place for them to even have a life. How did
So
they
that's
get a house?
so.
How did they be? How do you not know that America allocates certain resources specifically for undocumented people? If the resources wasn't available to them, they wouldn't have the resources. So then they wouldn't have no reason to stay. The reason that they are staying is because we
Because
made resources available to them.
and there's resources for people who are working on getting those papers. And I think it was like we researched earlier, like working on getting their visas and everything, and people overstay and don't get their visas, overstay their visas and everything, whatever the case may be. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that get rid of it completely, everything, but we need to lock down. This is becoming a problem because
I agree today.
we we need to lock down on this because at the end of the day, we're young adults. We're trying to come up in an economic where inflation is crazy. Our I told you this earlier. I don't know how true this statement is, but I heard this online. It was like we are in many decades. We are the first generation ever to have a worse life off than our parents did. That it's harder for us to buy a house. Hyperinflation, the U.S. dollar is getting decreased in worth. You keep on saying, "Oh yeah, we have the resources." America is borrowing trillions and trillions of dollars, and then now
How
after
much was that? Was how much of the resources did they use on starting wars?
it's borrowing like trillion. That's neither here nor there. We're not talking about
I'm just
that.
saying, but they using the money for stuff that they shouldn't be using it for, and it's not benefit. It's not benefiting us. I feel like okay, like you go around and you start a war when it's like really needed. Sometimes I feel like they do things just because they can, and like I believe that I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Trump was specifically allocating a certain amount of money to missiles and all that stuff to go start a fucking war. And I don't remember who. I don't remember
I
who the
would
war was gonna be against, but it's
I would
just
like to do
like
some research on that. Maybe I can see that, but also when it comes to Trump, there's a lot of hate on Trump. Really,
cause he a big oompa loompa. And
there's a lot of.
he be saying the craziest things. It's like he say the most
I
craziest
don't
things.
I don't like. I always like to look at it and say like, let's look past the weight. And that's a good example though of the whole. thing that we're talking about. Sometimes if you analyze what Trump is saying, what he is saying, like the core substance is not bad, but the way he says it,
That's what I'm saying. Like he don't be making people want to side with him. He wants to be an a-hole. And he says whatever comes to his mind. He thinks before he speaks a lot. And that's why sometimes it's just like you say stuff and it takes people aback like why would you say that? And he's also a criminal himself. So how a criminal gonna be judging other criminals?
and that's the thing, and that's the thing too, and that's the thing, and that's another topic as well. What criminal activity did he charge of?
I believe he's been charged multiple accounts of sexual assault,
Sexual assault.
of money laundering. He does a lot of things.
First off, if we want, first off, the Democrats, if you look at the top 100 people on the Forbes list and everything, all of them go to Democrats. Like 80% of those go to Democrats, 10 go to Republican, and then like another 10 don't give anything at all. The rich people actually want the Democrats involved. I think there's a reason for that. Why do the rich people that only supposed to be looking out for themselves and everything going for the Democrats? Because you know why? The Democrats actually makes them richer. You know what I mean? I think I don't know. It's a little shady when it comes to that, but and then when it comes to the money laundering, I heard of things about talking about uh rape and sexual assault, anything like that. I'm gonna be honest. He was never convicted of it, only because they when we asked, if you look up the details of that case, if we asked that woman about the details of that instance, she herself couldn't even give it,
But my thing
and she was
is,
talking about like decades before.
okay, so you can still get penal. You should still get punished for things you did years ago too.
And, but at the end of the day, too, here, if you can't even recall instances of what happened that, and then waited decades to say something, and then okay,
Okay, what about the people who said
what's the
something when it
details?
happened to them recently?
What's
They
the
still didn't charge him for those.
and what's the detail? And I say one thing: women lie. I'm gonna just be honest.
Not all women lie.
Women lie. You know, and I think we're living in a society where women they cry their hearts out, and then they automatically believe them. And I just think that that's a wrong thing because all it takes is one false accusation and it ruins a whole man's career. That's all it takes.
I didn't say. I mean, I understand that as well. So
Women lie and they
it's
have that
hard
power.
to believe sometimes when a woman does say that that happened to her, but at the same time, it's like until you're proven.
And he was never proven to have done that.
I was talking about the woman. Until you're like if you and if they can find evidence that you lied about it, then you're innocent until you're proven guilty. And yes, it happened. Until they can say, yeah, we got this evidence and this was something that
Maybe
you,
DNA evidence, maybe something.
yeah, like something to prove it. I'm gonna side with the woman every time
That's crazy.
because you want to know why?
That's crazy.
Because a lot of
That's
times,
crazy.
a lot of
That is
times,
wild. Oh
people
my goodness.
listen.
Oh my goodness.
People will not believe someone that's telling the truth. And I
Why you think the women's telling the truth?
I didn't I'm not saying for a fact that they're being honest. I'm just saying that I would believe it because a lot of women get sexually assaulted. A lot of them. And I would believe a man that came out, and they don't do it as often as women. No, but I would believe a man who said that he got sexually assaulted as well.
So you're just a follower of a boohoo story, of a made up boohoo story.
No, because who's to say that it's
I'm
made
not.
up?
I'm not.
A lot of the times people wait so long is because they're
Missy,
scared.
I'm not downplaying. For the record, everybody, I'm not downplaying it. It's
A
a horrible
boohoo
act.
story is crazy. Like,
It's a horrible act that we committed. If it's actually conducted, they should be punished to the fullest degree of the law. I would be honest, but I just think as a man, it is hard for me to convict somebody off just pure anecdotal evidence. It's hard.
I never said that you.
And to treat somebody as they already have done something without be proven. And that's crazy how somebody can just say this happened years ago. I cannot recall any details of what happened or have any traceable evidence, but it happened, and they automatically get treated like that. That's unfair. That's totally unfair.
I would say like it's a little different when the allegations happened many years ago, and then you finally decide like, yeah, I'm gonna tell my truth now. But I also
I
understand
think we got off
why.
a little bit off topic.
I
Yeah.
I also understand why we did, but I also understand why sometimes people wait for so long, because maybe they did tell a person, maybe they told one person and that person was like, no, you lying. So if you go to a person that you think would side with you and they be like, oh no, you're lying, you think any you're gonna have like the thought like, well, if they don't believe me, then who else is gonna believe me? Off I will tell you something after we get off of here, but because I don't need everybody to be in my business like that.
Mm,
But sometimes it's just like too, maybe they just want to fucking forget that it happened.
so if they wanted to forget that it happened, like, why bring it up now?
Maybe somebody was like, it happened to me, and I maybe tried to and maybe persuaded them to tell their
I
story as well.
I I say, like, as soon as if it happened, like, for the true cases out there, say something immediately. Say something.
And
Get
then
a
somebody
lot of
gonna call
people
you a
involved.
liar,
Get a
and
lot of
then tell
people
you
involved,
that what was you wearing when it
and
happened,
get a
and
lot of
all
people
all type of crazy
involved,
stuff.
and get traceable evidence of what happened. The sooner something happens, the more you can prove your case. When time progresses, it's harder to prove a point. So people say they wait because I was scared, but the thing, you're just working against yourself at
But
that moment.
what if somebody threatened them? What if they were scared for their life? What if they thought that they were gonna die if they told on that person? What if that person has a lot of money and was like, if you ever tell on me, I'll kill you, and or you nobody would ever believe you because I got more money than you and I can pay as many people and then I can get it thrown out. Like you don't do you not think that that stuff happens?
Let's get back on subject.
I'm
So
just saying it does.
let's get back on subject and everything.
Like
But
like I was saying, I have my views about, I do think there is a lot of undocumented people in this country that shouldn't be here. I think that it is too many undocumented people, yes. But I also think that the people who came here and started their lives and created their lives who aren't doing anything wrong besides, yes, I get they crossed the border un unethically, but
it's a disrespect for the people who do it ethically in the right
but
way.
do I think that they should just be put back in a state of unknown again? No, I think that's kind of fucked up. That's just like when the what is it called? The thing, like the people that go around and go get them. What are they
ICE.
called? ICE. When they go around and just start yanking people up and putting them in internment camps, and they confused on what's going on. And it's
Wait,
just
why
like
are you confused on what's going on?
it's just
Why are
like
you
that's
confused?
because if they've been here for all this time,
Why
at
are you
some point,
confused?
it's like, damn, like I'm really here for real.
No, nah, nah,
At
nah,
some point, it's
nah,
like I'm really here for real. Like I
nah.
haven't got
You just been a squatter for a long time. You forgot where you come from. Like, bro, you became a squatter.
no.
You
I think
self delusioned into thinking that you actually have, like, like you actually did things the right way and you are an
people are
American
human
citizen.
though,
Like,
babe. They have rights. Like they have rights as a human, bro. Like
yes,
it
human rights, but
shouldn't.
there's also nation rights.
Okay, but like all everybody in this nation does something illegal. I'm pretty sure every single person that is in America has done something illegal. A lot of Americans do a lot of illegal things every day.
And at the end of the day, exactly. But there are Americans.
That don't mean a damn
We
thing.
handle our own problems. We don't have time to worry about other people coming and breaking the law. Now, now we have even more people breaking the law. Like, let's just solve our own problems first, please.
But like I was saying, if it wasn't a possibility for them to come over here and obtain resources and everything, then of course they wouldn't come here. Well, America makes it a possibility for them to do that, even if they don't have any documents to prove that they are a citizen. America needs to be more strict.
Mm-hmm.
If they
And
don't want
somebody
nobody in
who,
this damn country, then they need to be more strict with their process and don't let people go on
mm-hmm,
for years and years and years and years and living here. If you gonna make some rules, you need to be able to make put shit in place when it needs to be in place. Don't
mm-hmm.
let that's just like you said. Don't let it go on for all this time and then be like, oh yeah, let's go
Yeah,
get
this
them
never should
now.
have happened.
That's fucked up.
This never should have. It should have never happened.
Well, then they
But
need
it's
to be
about
more
time to
secure,
get back on track. It's about time to get back on track.
but don't take it out on the people
Take it out.
who only
It's
know
called enforcing laws.
who only know
It's
American.
called enforcing laws. As you can see, everybody, she falls for a good sad story every single
Whatever.
time from
First of all, and
everybody.
you
To
just
be
always
honest,
just being you just go by like
facts and law.
blah, and you don't have any
I hear
empathy
it. I hear it.
for people.
I completely hear it. But at the end of the day, we can't just operate off empathy.
I never said
That's
that you should just operate off empathy.
that's how chaos
Did I not say that
involved
people should come up
and
like that
consequences.
they should be more strict? Yes, I did say that. But I'm saying like it's just like damn like
Chaos and
it's not a
consequences.
crime to be empathetic. It's not a crime to feel for people. Like I understand why you came over here.
I understand it, but you did it wrong, man. Sorry, bro. You did it wrong. I
We
understand.
can agree to disagree.
And that's the whole point of this podcast, really. But overall, I just think that if you came here the wrong way, you run that risk. You may get away for it now. You may get away for it for a couple weeks or maybe a year, maybe a couple years or whatever the case may be. You may get away with it. But
After 20 years, do you think that this it should still
after
apply?
truth, truth always comes to light.
20 whole years I've been here. You talking about I gotta go
Truth,
home.
yes, you gotta go home, bro.
This is my home.
You no, it ain't, bro.
Yes, it is.
Hey, prove it. Where the paperwork? Prove
That's not.
it. But you run that risk
They're
when you do
sovereigns.
stuff.
That's what they are.
When you do stuff the wrong way, you risk it being, you know, everything that you come to know taken away from you. And it doesn't matter how long ago that you did it or anything like that. Sometimes your actions have consequences. Sometimes the stuff that we did back in the day will affect us for years to come, or it can affect us years later. And I think is people need to be adults, and including undocumented ones need to be adults. Like, hey, I did this act. Sure, I've, did everything. I didn't do anything, any other criminal activity. Um, any other criminal activity. I did consume resources and things of that nature, and I did send money for my family back at home or whatever, because that's what most people do. Don't they do that?
They do.
Yeah. So, I did send money back home and improve their lives and improve my life as well. But I did do things the wrong way. So at the end of the day, my actions have consequences. So at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for that consequence. I'm not saying that you didn't have you can't come over here. It's just a process that you come over here and you have a shot at the American dream and get on the right track. And I think overall, we have been too lax and we have been too permissive on things, and it's time for us not to allow that wrong behavior to stay. At the end of the day, and at the end of the day too, I'm open to people coming in the right way, but right now, I don't think America is in a spot where we can just invite other people problems in. And for hyperinflation and heavy economic downturn, especially for younger generations, it's harder for us to buy homes. The worth of a dollar is not as much, especially for even just our parents' generation. It's hard for young people to get up and ahead, and it's kind of hard in order to us to make a living and everything. So,
Honestly, too, that's our parents' fault. Cause why the hell y'all ain't got no damn generational wealth?
yo, why y'all see? That's the thing. How about this? How about this? Let's have some accountability. Say, I'm gonna go build the generational wealth. You
That's
know what
what
I
we
mean?
trying to do.
Eh,
But the shit is it's 10 times harder now.
exactly. So why are we inviting other people? Why we have problems of our
I'm
own?
just
Like,
saying
like
though, they should have started
why?
it. Like, damn, like why I gotta be the one to start it? I'm 27. Like I should have been waking up to some damn money. I should have came out the womb rich.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
whoa,
mean?
whoa, whoa, whoa. First off, I think money, like when you born with money. That's a very test of itself, really. But anyway,
My, my
um, but like, yeah. So right now, overall, America has its problems of its own with trillions of dollars, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Our youngest generation in economic way is not turning out to be the best. We supporting wars in the Middle East. I'm not too educated on that topic either, but that's not good. I don't think we should be supporting any wars overseas. It creates a lot of problems for us. But anyway, we have a lot of our own problems that we need to figure out. I understand that you're having a lot of problems at your home country, and I completely understand you're just looking for a good life and you're trying to do everything and trying to send money back home to your family, and it's violence and it's not really good economic situation over there. Yada yada
oh,
yada.
now
I
you
understand.
I just want to go back to what you was talking about the kids who
Yeah,
are
I have
born
to do a little
here.
more research on that,
I
but
went
yeah.
to school with a whole bunch of Hispanics, and I believe from what they told me that they have every right to be here as much as we are because they were born on the soil of America.
That could. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna do some research on
I
that.
think they
It could.
have.
That
I don't know
sounds
how they get the
still be
birth
okay.
certificates and social securities, but I know that they
Right.
do
Like,
have
how
them
do they do
because
that?
I know
How
that
does?
they do have them because the school that I went to, we had to have that.
I wonder how did. So it's okay if we deport their parents.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's fair.
So is it okay if we deport their parents?
No,
Why not?
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It'd be a lot of racist Hispanics, but a lot of them motherfuckers be cool. They
I
be I ain't gonna lie, they got a sense of community and they really stand with each other. That's why I was telling you
stand for
it'd be
each
like
other in their own
it'd be like
country.
18 of them in one house because they be saving up their money and they be trying to create generational wealth here and they will all live in one space and all contribute in the house and they will all save their money together just so they can create more for their children and everything. I ain't gonna lie, it's a very smart way, but it be pissing me off because black people don't be thinking like that. Black people be
That's another.
selfish. But
That
that's a
that's
conversation we gotta have.
that's.
Say that you cannot say that.
I'm black too, but
Don't say stuff like
I
that.
have a lot to say to you. But that's another
I
conversation.
gotta edit that out. What the hell is wrong with you? Why
I,
would you say
I'm
that?
not.
See you guys in the next episode. Love you guys. Bye.